I'm not sure why these are so exciting and interesting to me, but Verse came out with their Everything Balms, and while we have a lot of cream blushes out there, there's something about these colors that really drew me to them. I have the shade Rush and the shade Canyon, and as you can see in the pan, it is very shiny, so we'll see how this does on my oily skin. Here we have Canyon. This feels extremely lightweight and very serum-y. Almost feels like the Makeup by Mario bronzing balm that's in a container like this. And then here we have Rush, which I think is giving a little bit more color payoff. I don't know if it's because I took a bigger swatch or because the shade is a bit darker. I'm always so drawn to these types of colors just because I feel like they're naturally occurring colors, or they're just not as intense on my complexion. Kind of just melted into the skin, but it doesn't look greasy, which I fully expected this to look more greasy than it does. I know that we hear this a lot, but I truly feel like a little bit of this went a very long way, especially with how thin the swatch was. I think the combination of this color with the fact that you can still see my hyperpigmentation and acne scars and freckling really allows this to look a little bit more natural on the face. And as you can see, I am building this up on the cheeks just to see what we can get out of this, and it's building up very nicely. I want to take a bit of Rush, which is more of that dusty pink shade, and I'm going to put it more in the center of the face. It's pretty. Seems like a really easy way to just get a wash of color. I am kind of wondering how this compares to the Merit Flush Bombs, since Merit and Versed are from the same parent company. I do love these colors. Let's powder everything down real quick. So I do think with cream blushes, after you powder your face, it always kind of like tones down the blush anyways, but this is what it's looking like directly after powdering. I'm going to add a little bit more on top of powder. Sometimes cream products can kind of cling to a powder and make it look a little bit textured. Maybe it's because of that higher oil content and because this is more slippery. It seems to be sitting on top of the powder really nicely and not like it's trying to like cling to the powder, if that makes sense. I do feel like it's kind of taking off a little bit of coverage right here, a little across the nose. Here's what it looks like on top of powder. So again, you can bring back that hydrated look, but if you wanted to, you could go in with a heavier hand before going in with powder and get a very similar look with more of a matte finish. I think what really stands out about these are the colors. I really love this more earthy tone like color story that they have going on.